What's crappin'? Stop yapping and build some shit. I am Cordell Rufus III, and we are about to unbox the world's largest turbo that's ever been put in an E36 chassis. So, what I got here are just some studs. We're going to put these in the T4 manifold. This is a Dock Race manifold. I thought I got these studs correct, but apparently I did not get the correct thread pitch on these studs, which is not surprising. So we will just kind of half-ass these in there just for the sake of being able to put this thing on, and we'll just put the two front studs in there real quick, and then we can set it up in there. But we're gonna unbox this bad boy real quick and see what we got. So as you can tell from looking at the box, I decided to go with the Borg Warner. Their new S400 system of turbocharger. It's a super efficient turbocharger. Jesus Christ. And we ended up going with the with this bad boy right here. This is the S400 S476, I believe. So it's a 7687 turbo. So big. This is so stupid. It is so big. It's heavy as hell. Oh my god, look at that fucking thing. So it's fucking ridiculous. So this is the newest style Borg Warner that they make, and it's supposed to be a really good turbo. So we're gonna try this thing and see how she does. But we're gonna have to loosen up this intake housing number 1, 2. It fits fucking perfect. Awesome. So my biggest issue I thought we would have was running the turbine housing into the shock tower, but it looks like we clear. We already have a tapped hole 8th MPT up here. We just have to drill it through for our boost reference, for our boost control. I'm gonna rotate this over, and we're gonna try to get, we want to try to get a boost pipe through here. So let me get a wrench on here real quick so we can rotate the turbine housing, or excuse me, the compressor housing, and we'll see how that bad boy goes in there. It should fit really well. That's a Dock Race stainless steel manifold, and that manifold is built for the large frame turbos, and Dock Race, that manifold is awesome. The only negative about that manifold I would have is that it is a pain in the ass to get tightened in there, and I had bought titanium hardware but you can't really use it on that manifold because it's just too tight underneath the runners to use it. That's why it slots in there. But let's get a wrench on here real quick. I'll just use a 3/8 crescent, and we'll just loosen this up real quick. I don't know what size this is, and I should probably just get a socket on there real quick. One sec. It's probably 12 or something. I have a bunch of random sockets sitting around because I'm in the middle of working on the car. We're waiting on the wiring harness to come in. The wiring harness should be here next week, as well as the transmission from Grannis Racing, which is a GR700 T56. Oh shit. Come on, you know you want to rotate. Ugh. Still a little too tight. Just loosen her up. Here we go. good. It's just clears the number 1, and we're gonna have to weld a 90 on here anyway, so it looks like we should be able to get a 90 on there. I want to get a bolt in here just so we can I'm gonna have to throw some washers on there and just kind of, let me grab some washers and we'll throw one of these studs in and see how it holds. I really want to get it to sit where I need it, so that way I can kind of mock up. So I can kind of mock up where I want it to go. One second. We're just going to stack some washers on there for now, so I can just get it held down flat on the flange with a nut. Whooped. We'll have to find that. So we'll get this thing held down with a nut real quick, just so it stays flat on the flange. There we go. So now that's flat on the flange. That should be pretty much where it's going to sit, minus the gasket that's going to go in there. And then, wow, that power steering reservoir is probably going to need to be moved. But let's grab the 3-inch cast 90. It's going to need to go on there. We'll see what kind of clearances we're working with. And so it's going to be pretty tight. So we might end up needing to move this power steering reservoir somewhere else. It could be mounted anywhere really. I was just kind of hoping to leave it up there, but if we need to drop it, it looks like we'll probably need to drop it down. So what I'll probably end up doing is getting rid of this 90 that's on here and just extending that flat straight down so I can slide this down, and I'll just mount it to the frame and drop the whole thing down lower. I kind of wanted it up this high because that's kind of level plane with the pump, but it doesn't look like that's really going to work too well. So let's set this down here for now, and we'll see kind of where we need this to come out. Because that would be pretty much the shortest we could make that if we cut that off right at there and put the 90 on. And we could even kick it up a little bit, but it's going to barely clear. I would imagine it'd probably be better just to leave this rotated up, and we'll probably clearance this back, which shouldn't be too big of a deal. But yeah, the other issue I wanted to make sure that we weren't going to have was with hood clearance. And a lot of people were talking about how the hood doesn't clear the large frame turbos, but it looks like that's not the case. So let's take a look at the hood clearance. And I'm not exactly sure on the angle that the engine's going to sit at. Finally, it might be up a little higher, but it looks like that shouldn't be an issue. That turbo actually sits really well. And yeah, so if we're right there, yeah, so even if the engine sitting all the way back, we have clearance on the hood, so we should be good. So we're just barely, the only thing we're actually rubbing on is this right here, so we can cut that out if we have to. So depending on the angle of the engine, worst case scenario, we just have to clearance that, but it clears under the hood, which is rad. So yeah, that is ridiculous. So we just need to try to get, obviously figure out how we can get the piping to fit. I mean, I really don't want to go down too far, and we can only rotate this so much because we are going to hit the number 1 exhaust runner. And we have our oil lines as well. We're running so our oil line is going to come up here, so that should be good. But yeah, it should work out pretty good. It fits really well, surprisingly well actually, so pretty cool. We'll keep moving forward on the build. Hopefully once we get the transmission and stuff in next week, we'll be able to bolt that up, and then we can actually set the drivetrain where it's going to sit finally, and then we can figure out what things we need to clearance. Obviously I've already painted the engine bay over here, so if we do need to clearance this, we're probably going to end up covering it with the heat wrap anyway, with the stick-on heat covering. So that's not going to be a problem anyway. And I'll be wrapping this whole shock tower with heat wrap also. So if we do have to do some massaging over here like we did over there, it shouldn't be a huge deal as far as looks goes. So we'll just have to figure that out as we go along. But it looks like we are going to have to lop that off, get a 90 on there, and then we'll keep moving forward from there. But the turbo fits great. It fits really, really good, better than expected actually. So we'll keep on moving forward, and everything is working out okay. I mean, there's little strides and hurdles here and there, which obviously you're going to run into as you go, but I'm really lucky that I have my parents own an engineering company, so I can do all my fab work and stuff there, all my custom stuff there, so I can pretty much just pull the compressor housing off, and we'll go, you know, I'll mark it, I'll time it, mark it, and then we'll take it off and go down there, and we'll figure out how to make it fit. So pretty cool. I'm excited. Pretty neat. Hope you guys are following the series. We have an exciting next couple weeks, so we'll see how all that goes, but pretty rad. GoPro, stop recording.